Hey guys, welcome to the 212. I'm Heather.
I'm Liz.
I'm Selena.
And today we're going to be discussing how life's changed since the beginning of 2020. So let's be real, 2020 has been a crazy year, from, the unfortunate death of Kobe Bryant to, the coronavirus outbreak to the unfortunate killing of George Floyd. It's just been a whirlwind, and nobody was expecting the chaos that 2020 brought. So I just want to ask you guys, how exactly are y'all coping?
Yeah, so how I've been coping is just kind of taking a moment each day to just have a moment of pause and reflection for myself, kind of taking myself away from the news, not really being so aggressive with making sure I'm paying attention and up to date with everything in the moment of that time of reflection, just having a moment of pause, because, sometimes it just feels a little bit too heavy and we have to take care of our mental health. So definitely just, reading a book, writing, watching some Netflix, just getting my head off of it.
Yeah. Exactly. Same here. Same with Selena, just appreciating everything about life, spending time with your family, learning new things, learning new, recipes, just taking a breather outside, just having fresh air, relaxing, and just enjoying things that are around you right now, because I feel like so much things have changed. So many things have been restricted for these last 3 months. And I feel by really appreciating and just enjoying is really important.
Yeah, I completely agree. Y'all, I found out that after the fact that people start coping with gardens and cooking, and literally prior to me even knowing about this article, I started my own garden. I started cooking and doing all these things. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I do this all the time. But then when I read the article, I'm like, oh wow, it's a coping mechanism. So it just wakes you up. You think that you can handle these things. And especially as New Yorkers, we've been through a lot. Mm-hmm. So, I didn't even realize that I was trying to make myself okay. And it gets to the point where us as New Yorkers, or even anyone in general, we have to get to the point where it's okay not to be okay. We don't have to always put on a front and act like everything's a-okay. It's okay to be concerned. It's okay to, just feel the way you feel. Of course, don't let it get you down all the time. Be around your loved ones, talk to your girlfriends on the phone, find ways to cope, but you don't have to sulk. There's always an alternative. So it's good to hear that y'all are finding ways to adjust amidst all this mess. So another thing that I want to talk about is everything being shut down. So let's be real. What's your favorite place that you used to always go to that you can't go to no?
Ooh, there's too many. I can't give an exact place. Way too many. I just miss walking around the city, walking around Manhattan, walking around Brooklyn. That's what I miss the most. Because I've been too afraid to get on the train, and to just be around folks in big groups. So that's been my thing. So I just miss being outside around folks.
Yeah, taking the train too, just missing that, and just being around you girls. I know we had already plans of going on rooftops, having some margaritas, and just enjoying the outside, especially right now since the weather is beautiful. Last year, we went to the Bushwick Collective, we went to different places, and just missing all that this year. But hopefully next year we'll be able to really enjoy it so much more.
Yeah, and I'm a foodie. I'm so used to taking my food pictures and just us just always exploring the city and eating someplace new. And the fact that all the places we had checklists and had plans to visit and eat at, that was just completely thrown out the window. We haven't even seen each other since haven't seen each other in months.
It's been a while. Yeah. Selena and I actually saw each other right when COVID was starting. So we were, we were doing shoots and we were hanging out, but and we didn't even really know how the extent of how bad it was at that time. You would hear a little bit on the news, but you didn't know how bad it was. And we were still there shaking people's hands and we didn't know.
Yeah.
Is it crazy to see how people turned on each other so quick? Because New Yorkers, we were so used to touching poles and being clumped up next to each other. And as soon as they announced how contagious coronavirus was, what happened?
Yeah.
I bought up all the hand sanitizer I could, Lysol wipes, like, gosh.
But now you can't even find them.
Nope.
I know, yeah, you couldn't find it. I was in a fight basically between this old couple and me because there was 2 bottles of Lysol left, and they just looked at me like, "What are you
They need
do?"
it though.
Take it, so I grabbed it. They just stared at the second bottle on the shelf, and it was the last bottle, and they took it. I was like, dang, I should have got both.
It's because, they're most at risk. I think, especially anybody who's like elderly or sick. Well, they said anyone who's elderly or sick, they're most at risk at getting coronavirus. So they are real on watch. They're like, I need all these goods now. I even hear about like young people like.
I was like, they were afraid to take it because this is when, we were that very first week when stuff shut down and everyone was like, well, what do I really need? Am I being ridiculous, like stocking up on cleaning products? But, nope, it's a smart.
Oh no. So I don't know. It's just been craziness. And now you're in the first phase of opening up. We're in the first phase, right?
Yeah.
We're in the first
phase. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're in the first phase of opening up. I'm still not going outside because I'm sorry. It's not that I don't really care much about coronavirus. Like I don't know. I don't really care that much about coronavirus. But at the same time, I want to make sure, I do have like my, they're not that young. So it's one thing if I catch it, but it's another thing if they do. So just to make sure I'm safe on all ends, I'm like, okay, let me make sure like I'm watching who I'm around, what I'm doing. Because again, New York, we're clustered on top of each other. It's not like anywhere else where you're like separate. We're on top of each other, literally. So
there's definitely no 6 feet. There's no 6 feet ever. Like it's not possible.
Not possible. That's why, like, if a second wave comes and they re-shut stuff down, or even if they like open the trains back up and life is back to normal, which obviously, as we know, that's not going to happen. A lot of companies aren't allowing people to go back to work in the office until 2021. So I don't know. Life is forever changed, I would say. Go back to normal.
How are people going to develop friendships? How are people going to like develop relationships if we're not meeting in person? Like what?
Yeah, it creates this, I don't know, like almost like a superficial wall up between, and it's hard to connect. And being in the office, you get to go out with your coworkers like we used to do. We used to go grab coffee,
exactly, or speak in the kitchen, or just have conversations with different people. It's just, I feel like it's always like, I don't think I would be able to work from home forever. Like I feel like I need to be out there, talking to people, and just, it would just be weird.
Yeah.
It's definitely being, locked in your house all day. And it almost puts a little bit more pressure because you're like, should I get up from my computer, to go to the bathroom and make a snack? And then, just being in the comforts of your own home, that's a little harder.
Literally being in your underwear, like, I'm going to get that work to you right now. It's nice, but yeah, I definitely miss human interaction. Nothing's going to cut that out.
Also, besides the coronavirus that's happening right now, outreach happened when George Floyd was killed, murdered by the police officer in Minneapolis. And a lot of that has sparked a lot of, basically America's consciousness has awoken, basically. And everyone is on edge about how we feel when it comes to race, human rights, all types of stuff. So what do you guys feel about the recent events, and just the sad thing that, as women of color, we have to maneuver this world knowing that people don't like us. And how are you guys dealing with that now?
The death of George Floyd, unfortunately, was something that we, the whole world witnessed. Thankfully, somebody had a camera to really, record what was going on, because this is something that has been happening for years. And many times, the truth doesn't come out. I feel that it's so important for everyone to learn about what people of color has been happening to them for many years. I feel like because we're women of color, we've had, incidents where, there's been microaggressions, stereotypes, we've been through so much of that stuff. So I feel that it's so important that people learn what we go through. I feel people need to learn what goes on in the Black community and issues that they faced. And hopefully this, makes people learn, watch movies, read books on it, and really listen to individuals. I see people on Instagram, like just doing videos, really explaining how people can be allies and how people need to change, their way sometimes of thinking, because some people, say things that they don't even think that they're saying something wrong, but really it is, a microaggression towards someone of color. So hopefully, this brings some change and hopefully we see something different.
Yeah, I completely agree. I really hope things change here. I think that, of course, like as soon as you see the video, as soon as you see that everything that unraveled with the killing of George Floyd, immediately, as soon as I saw it, I was just like, wow. And it wasn't even like a wow, like I was shocked. It was a wow, like, okay. It's like, it's happened so much in our community that it's just like another one. And you get to the point where it's kind of like, wow, like this is really keep happening. And immediately the first instance you see it, you're just like, oh, the anger, like, should I be angry? Like, what's happening? Why is this keep happening? But then I realized, like, just like all that I've learned from just enduring the entire 2020, I just literally got on my knees and I was just like, let me just start praying for our country. Cause I think right now, it's like, even we all have to be on our forefront doing something. Some people are, trying to get into Congress, trying to fight to be politicians and working on that end. Some people are protesting and asking for immediate change. Me, I literally was like, what do I do? One thing, I'm a journalist. Okay, I'm going to, of course, try and tell the right story. But I'm also on my hands and knees praying for my country, praying that people don't feel unsettled and unrest, and that people feel the peace that they should naturally feel. None of us feeling conflicted. None of us should be feeling hatred. None of us should be feeling like that. We should have peace. But unfortunately, America has gotten so out of hand that we're not experiencing this peace. People feel like justice hasn't been served. And it's an unfortunate thing. But I think that automatically you just want to get angry, but you can't. You have to figure out a way that you can help out. How can you be a part of this? How can you help out in this situation? People think that, especially as like, a citizen, we think, oh, it's nothing we can do. So, we're going to go out. What can we possibly do? But just figuring out a strategy. That's what I've learned from this situation. Just figuring out a strategy, doing something. Either you're praying, either you're protesting peacefully, either you're, working on getting into politics. Like, do something. We're all responsible for something. Just don't have a conversation about it and be like, okay, like, that's it. Oh, that's crazy. That happened. Because we have to see progress. And the only way progress is going to happen is if we change, we help out, we do something each as individuals. So when I think of the entire George Floyd death, I thought to myself, like, what can I do to change the situation? How can I help out in this situation? So yeah, praying for me, working hard to be a journalist, and just to anybody out there, like, figure out what you can do to help. You getting angry doesn't help. No, it helps you figuring out a strategy to help combat this. So yeah, that's just how I felt about this whole situation.
And I think it's okay. I think for a lot of us people of color, it's okay to have those feelings of anger and sadness, because we've been dealing with this for over 400 years. So we've gone through this. Our people have gone through it, our ancestors. So it's okay to have that anger, I believe. And I think just moving forward, yeah, we have to put our words to action. We have to act. And it's different for everybody, whether it's protests, like to be out in the front lines. That's amazing. exercise your right to protest. And then on the other end too, like maybe it's donating money. Maybe that's the best way you feel like you can help, as well as, upholding your beliefs that, we all are humans and we should be treated the same. Or maybe it's, reading a book and educating yourself, like
Mhm.
you're saying, or whether it's praying, like do what you feel in your heart is necessary to make change.
Yeah.
But we can't give up. All of us, we have to keep pushing so that, one of these days, maybe not in our lifetime, but our children, people have changed their hearts, and, we no longer hate each other for our differences, and hopefully everyone comes together. So I'm, praying for all the families who have lost children, because
Mhm.
children in the sense of, they're grown men, and that's what I'm saying. Children, like these mothers are losing their children to, violence from the police, or whether it's killings from people who aren't the police and they just, hate the color of our skin. That hopefully one day that changes and we no longer have to witness that. No longer our in the future, our kids won't have to go through that stuff. So it's a sad reality that we live in, but yeah, we have to keep the hope alive and just keep pushing for what we believe is right. So yeah.
Yeah. So retraction. Of course, if you're angry, talk to your girlfriends, talk to your family. Like, it's good that we have discussion on this. Like, your feelings are completely valid. However, like, when you want to see change, you have to be a part of that change. So it's so important that we all, in our own ways, take action. So again, like, it's completely okay to feel the way you feel, but again, don't sit there and mope. Be a part of the change that you want to see. So yeah,
Exactly.
that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Hmm.
So after all this, everything that's happening right now, just reflecting on it's only been 6 months. It's only been 6 months. We have another 6 months to go. But being where we are right now, what are y'all hopes for the future? Or the future of 2020?
Yeah, I hope for the future of 2020, life doesn't necessarily get back to normal in the sense of going back to our old ways and not caring about each other. But I just hope we come to a sense of, we're all in this together. Let's all work together, even with the pandemic and racial injustice, social injustice, human injustice. We all just need to come together, and we need to work together to figure things out. Um, with the pandemic, do your part, wear your mask, let's protect each other from each other, because that's really what it comes down to. But and then maybe, things will get better to a part where we can go back to having somewhat of what we used to have before this. So I just hope that, everyone gets that success during this time. Use this time to your benefit. And I know it's hard, and sometimes you don't have to. Maybe this time what you needed is a mental health break and
Yeah.
just relaxing, because I know that's what I needed, and I've kind of not have been so go go go. So just having this piece of time has been great. So moving forward, I just hope that we all have a moment of clarity, and we can look back in December, at the end of December, in January, and be like, wow, 2020 was sad. It was terrible at some points, but now, I've learned so much. It's a learning moment.
So for 2020, I really hope that everyone has learned from this experience. I hope that everyone really loves more. Hopefully, everyone, just appreciates the little things in life, the little things like, fresh air, walking down the street, a hug from a friend. And I hope they appreciate that, but also I hope that they learned many lessons. Everything with George Floyd, hopefully, they learned the lesson, to really understand, different cultures and how people, are living with many issues. I hope, the workforce opens up. I really hope that gets better. And, I feel like the industries have really suffered during this time, but I really hope everything picks up. And I hope to see you girls out, hopefully on a rooftop with a margarita soon. So I'm really hoping for that, but I just hope success for everyone.
Yeah, I completely agree with both you guys. I just hope that, actually, not even I hope, I know that we'll overcome. It's all written. I think, like, just reflecting on the entire 2020, let's be real, God has his hand over everything. Nothing comes to God by surprise. So I know that everything, good and bad, is all gonna work together for our good. So, you know, we've overcome worse, honestly. Looking back, especially as New Yorkers at 9/11, we've overcome some really tragic things. So I know that we're going to overcome. I know that we're going to come out stronger. And I just hope that we have unity. I think that's the biggest thing that Americans need right now is just unity. We see so many people divided, but I just hope that we have unity because you just see so much division in America. It's just everybody has their agenda and they're just like pushing it in your face. Just me, me, me. If you don't agree with this, that's it. We keep, and it's just like, I just think Americans in general, we just have to have unity. If we aren't standing together as a country, we're gonna fall apart. We're just always gonna have chaos. So honestly, I just hope that Americans, we just get unity. It's okay we can agree to disagree on things. If somebody doesn't see eye to eye with you, doesn't mean that they hate you, doesn't mean that they're against you. No, it just means like, you guys just don't see eye to eye on something. It's completely fine. But, we just have to work together. We have to work together. We can't have a country unless we work together. That's the point of this whole thing. It's a system. It's meant for different parts and different reasons. And honestly, different ethnicities and cultures. That's what makes America. That's what we're built on. So we need the diversity. We need people that come from different backgrounds, their voices. So again, just unity. We need that right now. We need people to come together. And that's pretty much it. Well, that concludes our 2020, just like reflection on everything that's happened in 2020 and how we're doing coping. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Do y'all ladies got anything else to say?
No, make sure to subscribe to our podcast. That's one too. And yeah, we'll be back soon.
So we'll see you guys for the next episode.
See you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.